Welcome back everybody, Driver53 here, and today I've got a video taking a look at barrels. And how do we make barrels? Using the production pack, the Placeable Factories Pack by erShaba. That's how we're going to do it. And first thing you're going to need to know is how do you use them? Well, you're going to come right over here, and you're going to be able to select them just like you would any animal. Now the most you can do is 2. Alright, so when they come over here to the other side, then you're just going to hit confirm. So what's the difference between having 1 and 2? Well, it's different rates of production. You're going to be able to produce more each day, and you're going to use more product, the inputs, to be able to do that. Now, there are differences. It's not an exact, number 2's twice as good as number 1. It's a little bit different than that. So we're going to go ahead and come over here, and I'll show you where everything is going to go in at. So right over here on the other side of the building is where you are going to put in your product right here. And the interesting thing with barrels is you don't have your input available to purchase or to harvest. You have to actually use one of the other factories to be able to produce this. And what are they? Well, they're boards right here. So you need to be able to use the other board factory. I've already got another video. We're going to go and link it up here above. And you use wood chips and diesel to be able to make these. Okay? And then you bring them over here and you put them in. And I'll show you how you're going to be able to use an AutoLoad feature right here on this ITRunner platform to be able to do this. We'll show you on the other side when I'm picking up the barrels how that works. Now, the max capacity right here. Now, this is not something that you have to put in before the factory will work. This is just if you have a lot of product, this is how much it will accept maximum. All right. So for your boards capacity, this area right here, if you got it on production level 1, it's going to hold 100,000 liters of boards for you. If you've got it on production level 2, it's going to hold 200,000 liters of boards for you. All right. Now, next is going to be your diesel right here. Now, I say diesel, you could also use biodiesel, but we've already showed in a previous video that it's not very cost effective. You're going to make less money overall if you use biodiesel. Biodiesel is absolutely great to produce and then sell it and then use those profits to fuel your other places. Now, if you want to use this the way that it's truly intended to be, where you take a product out of one factory into the next factory and then that factory into this factory, you absolutely can, right? So you can use your biodiesel over here, no problem also. But how much is it going to hold? On production level 1, it's going to be 25,000 liters. Production level 2, it's going to be 50,000 liters. All right, so that is how you do it. Well, that's how you put everything in. And as soon as you hit go on this, it's going to start taking away all of your product, right? It's going to start pumping it out and going to town. Now on this one, you don't have any scrap. On some of them, you are going to have like a compost pile right in this area. You do not have that on this here, all right? So let's go ahead and start looking at some of the data when we come over here and show you a little bit more of the details about how much it's going to use per day, what it's going to cost you, how much you could potentially make, different things like that. So I've got a few slides here that I want to go ahead and show you. All right, so this is the first slide right here. And as you can see, it's titled Ravensberg barrels. Okay, so we got production level 1 on the top line, production level 2 on the bottom line. So total volume created, I have 60,000 liters. That's the most you can make before the factory shuts down. Okay, now it still uses a little bit of product for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. So you need to be able to get those barrels out of your area to be able to keep producing more and more and more. Now, how many days does it take to get to 60,000 liters? It takes a while. Production level 1, it's 8.67 days. And on production level 2, it's 5.19 days. So that's the third column that you see there on elapsed days. So what does that equal to total production per day? So the last column here shows that on production level 1, it's 6,920 liters of barrels. And production level 2, it's 11,583. Well, that's awesome. Let's just use production level 2 all the time, right? Because it's faster, you get more product every single day. You have a potential for more profit every day. Let's take a look here at this next slide. So what this one here shows you is the first column, total diesel used. And as you can see, on production level 1, it's 10,873. But production level 2, it's 17,292. That's a pretty big jump. That's 6,500 liters more. All right, pretty steep. Now, per day, it's not that big. It's only about 1,254 on number 1, and number 2 is 3,338. So a little bit more, and we'll look at the prices on how much that is exactly going to cost you here in a later slide. Total boards used. This is the product that you're taking out of another facility. You do not have the option to buy this anywhere on the map. All right. So 43,490 on production level 1 and 69,167 on production level 2. So quite a bit more. All right. So if you want it faster, you want to be able to make your profit, it's going to take a little bit more. It definitely is. Boards per day, it comes out to either 5,016 or in production level 2, 13,353. That's a lot of boards. All right. So the next slide here. This is going to show you your average barrel sell price. And the way I got this is I'm on Ravensberg map right now. I went to the menu, looked at it at the time that I was getting this data, one time only, and took all the average of the 4 different locations that buy barrels. I averaged that together right here at 2,840. I will tell you, there was one that was over 3,300, and then there was one that was really low also. So this is just an average taken at this exact timestamp. This is going to vary quite a bit. But for this example, this is what I've got because I wanted to be able to make it quick, to be able to get on to the next stuff, and so you guys can see average at that moment right then. Total barrel sell value, roughly $170,000. That's what you're going to be able to sell it for. Now you may be wondering, well, how much does it cost to make barrels? So this here is the cost breakdown, okay? And I want to be very, very upfront. This may not be the most real world way of looking at this information, all right? And I'll explain that as we get into the third column here. But the first column, diesel cost per liter. This is if you're buying diesel straight off the map, it's $1.25 per liter, okay? So if you look at how many liters that we used before and multiply it by 125, it's going to cost you $13,591 for production level 1. For production level 2, it's going to cost you $21,615. Now, that's total. That's over the entire run of 60,000 liters, okay, of product. That's not per day. That's over the entire run. So you can take these values here and you can go back and look at how many days it was, divide that by that, and that's going to tell you per day how much you're spending on fuel. Now, the next column, boards cost per liter. This is a really interesting one because there's 2 ways of looking at this. You can take the product straight out and all the costs that it actually physically cost you, that you spent out of money to be able to produce those. This is this value right here, 35 cents. Now, if you consider how much the value of your wood chips is, okay, then you have to increase this because there's 2 ways of looking at profit. One is you take all your costs that you physically pull out of your pocket and give it. The other, profit, is considered a difference in profit, like your potential profit, okay? So if your boards cost you, let's say, $3 to make, all right, but you can sell them for $5, you have to consider that $5 as the value of it. So you have to consider that in your cost of the next level. So we're not going to look at that data here. This data right here, though, is going to be how much you physically cost, okay? Wood chips, I cut the trees down myself and put them in the factory. So the fuel cost associated with that is the only cost that I physically had because I had to fuel the plant. Okay, so 35 cents. So total boards used costs, I've got on production level 1, 15,222, and on production level 2, 24,204. Now I have to add these 2 columns, the second column and the fourth column together. All right, and that's going to be my total cost. So this slide right here is going to show you how much you're going to make once you add those other 2 columns together and subtract it off of your profit of 100, or your total sales of like 170,000. Okay, so production level 1, you're looking at $141,587. Production level 2, it's $124,577. So why is it less on production level 2 than it is 1? Well, because you're using more product. You're using a lot more product to be able to do that. So it costs you more. But on production level 1, we know that it takes over 8 days to be able to produce 60,000 liters. So your profit per day on that one is only 16,331. Production level 2, we know it costs under 6 days, right? So 5 point something days. That's going to be $24,050. So if you want the profit really fast, I would go with production level 2. If you're just trying to produce something and save your costs and things like that, production level 1. So now that we looked at all that data, what do we do with barrels? Well, you're going to sell them. It's the only thing you can do with them. There's nothing else in the way that the game is set up right now. All right. Well, how do you collect? Well, you can use a tractor with some type of grab on the front, pallet forks, whatever you want there, or you can grab one of these things right here. Now, this is the ITRunner pallet pack that is recommended for Ravensberg map. This is also a nice new Phoenix Tara that just came out. That's an ITRunner version. So I believe this came out on June 17th, roughly, in that area right there. It's a really, really nice. We'll show it to you here in the catalog. But what it's going to do, it's just going to start collecting everything, right? And you're going to pull them up on top of here, and you're going to be good to go. Now, what you can do is once you get a bunch of the barrels here, you can take them straight and sell them at any of the sell points just like you normally would. Or there's another mod that just came out really, really recently, and we're going to throw links to all three of these mods down in the description below. All right, and what this mod is, it's going to be like a silo, like a warehouse for you. Okay, so it looks like this. You're going to come over here, okay, and you need to drive through like this. And as I start driving through, watch my value. See down there how everything is disappearing? Really, really awesome. All right, so on the yellow, it's putting it into storage for you, and you can see all the different items that we are going to be able to produce here with these factories. Okay, we've already shown off biodiesel, we've already showed off sunflower oil, we have already shown off boards. We're now looking at barrels right now. Here really, really soon we're going to be looking at potato chips, and then we're going to get onto the other ones. We're going to look at seeds, we're going to look at flour, we're going to look at sugar. You also have up here eggs and wool also that can be done, and we're gonna look at cheese too. That's a really, really interesting one. What's this one? TMR. Yeah, we're definitely gonna look at TMR and pig food also. So lots of cool stuff. Now, if this is unloaded all the way, almost, so watch this. As soon as this gets done, I'm gonna pull forward, all right, to right here. Now this is gonna be my pickup point. Okay, so if I click on this, it's gonna say, hey, this is how much you have in here, and this is how much you can take out. All right, or this is the product that you can take out. Fortunately, I have three of these together, so it's showing 300,000 liters. All right, they're 100,000 by themselves, so I won't have a problem taking it out of here. Now, you're not going to be able to pull up here and it just automatically know what you want. You're going to have the right end piece also. And what I mean by that is your platform. All right, you have to have the proper platform. And I'll show you. If I come over here in this corner, you can see that I've got a couple other platforms set up with biodiesel on them. Okay, and they will only accept biodiesel the way that these work. So you can see them right there. Now if you come over here, I've got a couple others. So right here, this one here only takes sunflower oil. Okay, and that's the same as this one here. So that's what sunflower oil looks like, and that's the ITRunner platform right there. So this way is a little bit easier to maneuver, and it's got a trailer hitch on the back that you can hook up and do tandem. Okay, now the other one was boards right over here, right? So it would be really, really cool to be able to run a couple of these back and forth, you know, save on trips, everything like that. So it's a great mod. But everybody, that is going to be it today for barrel production. You know, and before I was calling these production chains, we're probably still going to keep the name that way because that's truly what they are. These are chains. You link them together, right? The true intent of the mod is to link these together. So sorry if I'm offending anybody by that or thinking you got some clickbait going on here. Hopefully you're not thinking that once you get to this point in the video, that I've shown you how to use them, and I've showed you why you need to be able to link them together, and I've showed you the profits, you know, the values that it's going to take every day to run this. Now, don't think that you have to fill these all the way up also, right? You can do these day at a time, and if you need to only do, you know, a few thousand liters every time you harvest, then absolutely do it. There's nothing that says you have to fill these up all the way before they work. So think of these as another way to use your crop to create a little bit more profit on the side. Yes, absolutely. You can sell your products right then and make the money instantaneously, or you can bring them over here to a factory, let something happen to them, make a little bit more money, right? And then there you go. So maybe if cost is really, really low, you bring them over to a factory and let them do their thing, right? Or, I don't know, you can sit on product for quite a while and wait for that price to come up. And the same thing applies for that. If you enjoyed the video or learned something today, go and give me a thumbs up if you would. If you want to be kept up to date on all my latest production chain videos here using the Placeable Factories Pack, think about hitting that subscribe button. And if you do, hit the notification bell too. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53, signing off.